Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, wherever and whenever you are joining us. Welcome to our latest edition of What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. As always, I'm your host, the coach Nick Vesci, joined by the boy Stephen Vesci.
What up?
And back from hiatus. Hiati is the man, Stephen Comlow.
Hello. Good to be back, boys.
Now, if you're new to our show, we like to think of ourselves as the sports show for sports fans about sports. We like to focus on what happens inside the lines of competition rather than the outside nonsense that dominates much of sports discussion nowadays. Now, before we get into our top catch for the evening, just a reminder to follow us on all of our socials. That's on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads at WCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. Now, without further ado, we get into our top catch for the show. And this week we went with the NFL Conference Championship game. So the AFC Championship, Conference Championship between the Patriots and the Broncos, and the NFC Championship between the Seahawks and the Rams. So New England, they came out with a 10-7 victory over the Broncos. I believe the first time they've beaten Denver in the playoffs, in what turned out to be a snowy game, which was funny because I believe I had read, or like people were talking about, good thing this game's not in New England because they'd be getting 10 inches of snow in a storm, and then boom! Because I actually don't think that was expected to happen.
No, I don't think it was either.
Because they said, it looks like they might get some flurries, was like the most. And then, squadoosh! Yeah. Here's a full-on sweet-ass snowstorm, which was just fun. I don't care if you say, it wasn't good football. No, football is football.
That was incredible. It changed the entire dynamic. Throw the playbooks out the window and let's go out and fucking play. And, the big thing that came out of that game, in the second half at least, was a large part of it had to do with which way you were going. Yeah. They kept referencing it over and over and over again as if you're going into the wind, you couldn't see shit.
Yeah, no. As someone who's played in a game like that, walking up to, not with snow but with rain, walking up to the line of scrimmage, literally with your heads down, and the defense is laughing at you like, what's wrong with you guys? It's hitting them in the back, so they don't feel anything, and you literally cannot see or look up in front of you without getting blasted by hurricane force wind and rain. So and to those people who say, well, that's not fair. First off, life's not fair, so get over it. But second, I bring up an example. We've talked about this before. Golf events, especially majors and especially the British Open or the Open Championship, if you get screwed on your morning or afternoon tee time for your first couple rounds, that's it. How often have we seen that championship where everyone who gets that certain tee time alignment almost all miss the cut? It happens all the time, and none of them are crying and complaining. To anyone who is sitting there saying that's not football, no, it is. It's sports.
Play the course as you find it.
Exactly. I had to play the ball off of Frankenstein's fat foot.
But that was, the New England Broncos game was so much fun. And Stevie, I'm sure you'll be right there with me. God, it's just, can we just get a blowout win in the playoffs? I'm tired of these one-score games. I know, but man, it's taken years off my life and putting gray hairs on my head with how many just close calls.
You see a few on your chin there.
Yeah. You wait. If I took my hat off, you'd see a lot more. I know, dude. It will always be like that. But man, just how fun was that? And I think one of my favorite things to come from that game was Mac Hollins walking into the stadium, just Warriors. Have you seen that? He dressed as that kid from that movie, and he's walking and clanking the glass bottles on his fingers. Warriors come out to play. Oh my god, it was so funny. And then that's all they were screaming it. And then Vrabel was screaming that in the locker room after the game. Oh, it was awesome, man! What a fun game that was.
Yeah,
no, it really was. Yeah,
I was gonna say the conditions really destroyed the field goal kicking.
Oh my god!
Even in the first, even at the end of the first
half,
before
the snow,
field goals. But then when you got the snow, that field goal to put New England up, I was like, oh, that could be massive. And the call to not
go for it on fourth down
by Sean Payton and go for it also could be massive. That
will haunt him the rest of his life.
The Drake May tush push that was
where they brought in the two defensive players.
Did he get it? Did he not get it? Like, what happened?
Yeah, that was a big call. I actually don't. I do not think he got it. But the problem is,
I don't think he did either.
Overturning a spot, especially a crowded thing, is it's impossible.
It's impossible.
They're never going to overturn that. But yeah, I don't think he got that. You're right about the fourth down
either,
call.
Right.
Fourth down, those types of things are hindsight's always 20/20. And I know Sean Payton said, you're going to think about that.
You play to win the game.
But yeah, exactly. If he gets it, no one says anything, right? But it does bring up the point of how much we are seeing fourth downs being gone for, and the repercussions of not getting it. Almost feels like we're not thinking of those, because we saw that happen in the other championship game with McVay going for it twice in the fourth quarter when they were down by 4, because we've been so accustomed to, they have to have a touchdown to go ahead, so we have to get a touchdown. But do they really have to get that? Because if they kick a field goal, Los Angeles does, that would have made it 31-30.
The problem is
down. All you need is a field goal to win, and you had like 6-7 minutes left in the game. So, by kind of going for it, getting it, and then not getting it the next time, you almost doomed yourself because you ran off so much clock and came in with no points. So again, hindsight's always 20/20. If you convert, no one cares. But I think it's not a conversation that's brought up enough of are these appropriate or not appropriate? And it's not brought up enough of the ramifications of not getting it.
Do you think that's a problem in today's game, though? Like, obviously, we hear it in every sport, and regardless of whether it's postseason, playoffs, championship, or regular season, we're always hearing, the analytics say this, the analytics say this. But, I feel like the common mantra that we've heard our whole lives is it's the playoffs. Get points where you can get points. You know what I mean?
So the analytics have actually, on a lot of those field goals that Nick was talking about, the analytics have actually said kick the ball. Yeah. So it's actually they're kind of.
But it depends on what analytics you use, though.
Feel thing.
Right, boy? It depends on what analytics are being used.
There's that. I think there's also there's been a shift in the mindset of going for it a little bit more, and it's not just analytics. It's more like, I can bury a team. I can make it so much harder. I trust my guys. I can go win this game right now instead of playing not to lose. However, during the playoffs, when points are at a premium, and during weather games like the New England Denver game, I don't know, and that I think maybe he needs a better weather guy or something to say, hey, the second half of this game, the fourth quarter of this game,
should have looked at the Euro model.
Yeah, should have looked at the Euro model. The fourth quarter is going to be impossible to score. You better get this 3 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I do think
he does have that. Maybe he said, "Screw it, I don't care. This is also my best time to go for it because I have the wind at my back," or whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think you have to take points in a defensive-minded game. Typically, you need to take the points when you can. But also, you score a touchdown, it's almost impossible. New England would have been. How are they going to score a touchdown?
Yeah, right? I will say, though, you have to look at, too, we can't just go by, the analytics say, because on the TV screen, it brings up the graphic of 4th and 3 or less, go, or kick, right? That's not necessarily all the same data that the coaches have and that are using, right? So, when it says, they should have kicked, well, why'd they kick? Why, that type of thing. Each staff has their analytics tailored to them on some level. Now, again, it doesn't bring into full account the feel of the game, the weather, all these different things. And like you said, in the playoffs, points matter more than anything because it's different playing from behind in the playoffs versus in the regular season.
Yeah.
So even if you're going up by 3 versus 7 or, going down by 1 versus down by 4, there is a pretty big difference, a bigger difference in the playoffs in terms of the feel and the momentum you get from the game. Now, it's things like this that make people question, are we relying too much on some computer model and less about what we see on the field? Because, you could argue, there's times where you could be like, well, I shouldn't go for a tush push because my line really hasn't been getting that much of a push. Even though it says to go, should I just take the points because we feel we're fortunate to get down here at some point, right? And that's not taken into account because that analytics the coach has isn't adjusting for in-game scenarios like that or things that aren't quantifiable where it's like, this so-and-so end is having the game of his life.
Yeah.
If we run our 4th down play that we had set up for this week, it's going to get blown up because this dude is all over it. Those things are all field. Those things are all coaching that it's looked upon and looked at in the heat of the moment. So I do think it's valid to talk about it and question it the same way I think it's valid in baseball to do that a lot. I know our father has always been extremely critical of Joe Girardi, saying he just lived off of the spreadsheet and that he wouldn't do anything at a field. It was all based off of, well, this hitter's here, and it says that you should put this reliever in, but only for this this many outs. That's kind of what it felt like a lot of times with Girardi, and I think for football, it's almost like they're catching up to that because we've seen that in baseball too often, and those guys aren't always that successful because of you lack that feel. And I think we're seeing that now more and more with coaches. Is it's kind of going back to what we've said before, the risk mitigation, right? About like drafting this guy because, well, it has the highest potential, and if he's a bust, it's least likely to make us look bad. I think it's that type of thing, right? You can justify, our analytics said that we should go for it. So it doesn't make you look bad. Whereas if you go, I thought this is the right call at this time, then it opens you up for all this criticism. And I think that is ultimately the problem. It's not that these guys aren't great coaches, right? I mean, Sean Payton's a Hall of Famer. Sean McVay's going to be a Hall of Famer, right? These are some of the best football coaches we've ever had. And you're seeing it happen. And I'm not saying it's a mistake, but that's kind of where it's getting lost, is that it's not just a upstart new kid on the block is gonna Donnie Wahlberg it out there and fly by the seat of his pants and do something new agey, right? It's not what we're seeing. We're seeing that there's a reliance on it, and I think so much of it is organizationally driven, and I think so much of it is that risk mitigation, that we won't look as bad if this fails compared to if we fail doing something else. Now, is that right or wrong? It's hard to tell, right?
Who's to say?
Exactly. But yes, we had New England win the AFC go to the Super Bowl. Woo. For the first time in it's only been 6 years, I think, for you people. And they will take on the Seattle Seahawks, who defeated okay, go pound sand and lick windows. The Seahawks defeated the Rams 31-27 in Lumen Field.
The Cowboys got to an NFC Championship.
Did you know that since 2010, the only team in the entire NFC to not reach the conference championship is the Cowboys?
They haven't won one since 96, I think, or something like that.
That's the last time I believe they got to the conference championship game.
They got to one since 1996. That's horrendous.
Horrendous, yes. I think it's funnier that since 2010, literally every team in the NFC has played in at least one conference championship game.
Tommy Cutlets or Drew Lock are going to get a ring before Dak.
Before a lot of people, which is funny. But yes, so the Seahawks defeat the Rams. It sets up a rematch of Super Bowl 49, which is the infamous Malcolm Butler interception at the goal line that the Patriots won 28-24. It's the 9th rematch in Super Bowl history, with the Patriots being a part of 4 of those. I guess when you do play in the Super Bowl every other year, it's when you've played in 10, bound to happen. 11.
You start to lose count after a while.
Yeah. I would like to highlight Sam Darnold, though.
He
joined this year. He was it seems this was finally the shut everyone up moment, because this year he became only the second quarterback ever to have back-to-back 14-win seasons. The only other one is Tom, who did it in 03, 04, 04, or 05, something like that. But Darnold did it on 2 different teams, the Vikings and the Seahawks, and we saw what the Vikings looked like this year without him, right?
Dude,
and in this championship game, he went 25 for 36 for 346 yards, 3 scores, and he will be the first quarterback from the celebrated 2018 draft class to start in a Super Bowl. And that class included Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield. And he's going to be the first one out of that class to start.
Dude, that's like Sam Darnold going to the Super Bowl this year and Mike Vrabel going to the Super Bowl this year makes the Titans and the Vikings look like the Angels. The Angels with Ohtani going to LA. You know what I mean? It's on that level. How do the Titans let Vrabel go? How do the Vikings let Sam Darnold go? And now look at you.
I don't know what the Vikings, after the 14-win year, is it because they went Kirk Cousins to...
All right, good job, guys. Time for a rebuild.
We can just do this with, McCarthy.
Well, it's more, yes, it's a little bit of that, but it's also, when you invest first-round picks, that's where the politics of the NFL comes in. One of the places it comes in is we can't not play this guy. Right, we've spent all this money invested, so we could have drafted anyone else for the most part, right, with that pick, and so it has that.
He just got
it has that.
14 wins.
Exactly. It has that risk of that, but it goes back to risk mitigation. Well, no one could have seen Darnold doing this again, and yet McCarthy was, such a good prospect coming out of Michigan. Like, it allows you to build that excuse in, and that ownership is probably pressuring you that, hey, we paid for this guy. Like, they only brought Darnold in like on a 1-year contract or whatever, it's 1 or 2 years, and they had the plan that he's going to be our starter this year and maybe even compete with McCarthy or whoever we bring in. And then the next year, this guy's probably going to wash out and we'll have our starter and we'll look brilliant. But like what the best laid plans are of mice and men, production over potential. Like you said, you got the production, but you chose potential over production. And now look where you are.
Darnold was a top draft pick where like he's now reaching his quote unquote potential.
Well, it's just like Baker. It's like Baker. We talked about, think about the 2 organizations that drafted Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. The 2 worst organizations in the NFL, the Browns and the Jets.
It's a really good point.
And then at one point, they were both on the Panthers when the Panthers were completely inept.
Were dumpster fire, right? So that's where, and your boy Tom has said it. We've talked about it on here. Okay, that's great. You're the number 1 prospect, but you're going to the 31st best NFL head coach and 29th best GM, and no one talks about things like that. And your organization habitually, wins these games. It's not like, we get caught up with, oh, well, this guy can overcome that, and that's not true. There's like 3 people ever who have done it, basically, right? Peyton's probably one of them, and you'd say the Colts were in that position kind of because they were transitioning and like coming into their own, and they built that up there, and we saw the Colts, yes, they've had some issues the last few years, but nailed on Peyton and Andrew Luck, and they had, think about all the other guys that they had around them too, and all that stuff. So, it's very rare that you could have some guy come in. Doesn't happen, basically, right? Maybe Marino, and, think about some of the other big time guys. Kyler Murray that comes to the Cardinals, but still the Cardinals. He's just a great player. He can't solve everything. It takes more than one person. It takes a whole organization. It's why I would say Lamar Jackson's been as successful as he has been, because he got to the right organization. If he was picked by the Jets, we'd be having the same conversation.
Correct. And it worries me for a guy like Cam Ward, who, by all measures, I think this guy, wants to be great, lives and breathes football, and, has the skill set and everything, but it looks like he's just has no help, no organizational help, nothing, no game plan whatsoever. And it's just like, here, go play quarterback in the NFL as a 23-year-old
with 2 different head coaches in your same year. Yep. Now you're gonna have 3 coaches now, and he's only not even played 2 years.
Right. It makes me feel bad for someone like that.
But I
hope they figure it out and get him going, and he can.
The Bears did
great.
So there are people out there. The Bears did. Caleb Williams looks way different. Yeah. Just confidence-wise, body language-wise, and production-wise.
Yes,
it's different.
I think he's still I think he was one of the worst completion percentage quarterbacks.
I believe he was actually dead last.
Dead last, yes. But however, his production for call it game managing, right? By the way, that's not an insult to anyone if you are a game manager. That's how you win football games.
You're supposed to be doing
manage the games, right?
Yes.
You have to set the.
Why the Colts signed Rivers?
Worst completion percentage, but still made the playoffs. I mean, that's what happens when he's airing the ball out 40, 45 times a game.
I was gonna say completion percentage on some level is deceiving, because what if you're not getting blocking, you're getting chased out of the pocket, and you're throwing the ball away, which is the right decision. And instead of taking a 6-yard loss. And so what, you'd rather him take the 6-yard loss because his completion percent, like that's some NBA shit right there.
Yeah, it is.
His completion percentage doesn't go down.
You get your bonuses type shit.
Yeah, like, I'm going to wait till the buzzer goes off, then I'll shoot it. They had to literally put in a rule this year that if you miss it, it won't count against your stats. It'll count against the team stats. They put, just because they realized all these guys did it, and that was a known thing. They were like, well, this is actually messing with the integrity of the game, because that means literally you're not trying to win every time because you're trying to boost your stats for more money. So they put that in. So I didn't watch enough Caleb Williams to know, oh, is he throwing the ball away? But that was one thing, that could be, right? And you just never know. And it doesn't take into account drops either, right? Well, it does. That goes to your completion percentage. But if you have a lot of guys dropping the ball, it's going to drop yours. And so that doesn't mean you are making a mistake. So completion percentage matters in some cases. Other cases, it doesn't. You have to look at, like we said, the production, right? Were they scoring? Were they winning games? Were they making all the comebacks that they had? Those things matter, and you can overlook or push past or at least rationalize a statistic of completion percentage or some other underlying stat to get your guy where he needs to be. Now, that also, I would say, is a positive because it means that there's room for improvement too. That here are things that we could help to get better, that he hasn't reached his full potential, and we can work towards it, right? So a whole lot of things there is extremely difficult and inexact science. Is the reason Brock Purdy, the last pick in his draft, has had so much success because he has certain intangibles like his processing speed and his, decision making, his quick release, his accuracy. And he's also had weapons around him, right? And weapons on the offensive line. So all those things come together. And you can't expect to throw a guy out there. I mean, that's, I think, a big reason why Dante Moore didn't declare for the draft, because he knew he'd be drafted by the Jets. And this isn't going to, sure, I'll get a bag of money, but this is not going to be enjoyable.
Why not stay in Eugene, Oregon,
still get money.
Eugene, as the big man on campus and still make $3-4 million.
Yes,
and try get more experience. Try to play for a national championship. Why not do that? Plus, he's like 20 years old or something. Like,
oh, that's another thing that's discounted. You're throwing these guys in here who, are young. I mean, we've talked about Anthony Richardson is still like one of the youngest quarterbacks in the NFL, right? You can't. There's a big difference between a 20-year-old and a 25-year-old. Especially at a position that is so mentally taxing, and process driven, where your mind is having to make all of these decisions really quickly that you can't think about the decision you're making because you have to have all that preparation and repetition. That's a really adult thing. And not saying obviously a 20-year-old's an adult. Are you really, like, it's by definition, but not by reality? Like, there's still so many steps developmentally you have to get through. And again, I think so many of these guys that we consider busts or not succeeding are oftentimes victims of their environments. That they're not put in situations that are conducive to success, especially the things that they need to be successful. And the NFL, I almost think, has a problem with that because it's an antiquated way of thinking. It's a lazy way of thinking, to be honest. And it's just looking out for the bottom line of all these people up here and not for the development of people down here. And you could say, well, that's what college is for. Well, to develop players. Well,
not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you still have to develop players at any level. And I think the successful coaches would tell you that. The guys who coached for decades, like Harbaugh and Tomlin and Belichick, they still would tell you have to develop players.
Yes.
Right? Yes, the business aspect comes when, like, a Belichick sits there and goes, Chandler Jones, you've reached your peak. We don't think you're worth this money. Buy. And he still is productive at Arizona. Right? That's the business part of it. But you still have to develop Chandler Jones. You can't just, here you go, don't do it. Here's, be to your own devices, do whatever you want, and we'll win. You'll win. That's not how it works. Last thing here about the Patriots, your boys. They're the 6th team to reach the Super Bowl after posting 5 or fewer wins the previous season. The 2001 Patriots are the last team to win the Super Bowl after 5 or fewer wins the year before.
Hell yeah.
Just thought you would love to hear that. So, Super Bowl matchup is set. Super Bowl 60. It's not this weekend. It's next weekend, February 8th, I believe. Bad Bunny is the halftime show. In case you're wondering, it's in Santa Clara, or the Levi Stadium, where the Niners play. And again, Seahawks, Patriots. Believe the Seahawks are the home team. If both teams wear their throwback uniforms, though, it would be freaking epic.
God, that'd be electric.
We should petition, or at least start something, to have them wear their throwbacks.
Money, please.
Yeah. How much money you got? 63 cents. I don't think that's going to cut it.
No, I don't think so.
All right, anything else before we move on?
In their 30s, not have $800 between them. The economy.
The economy is just in shambles.
It's just terrible. I did want to talk about Kenneth Walker a little bit because I think the Seattle success, a lot of it had to do with Kenneth Walker. I know we talked about Darnold and JSN has been unbelievable, but Kenneth Walker and that offensive line have been incredible. And great job by Coach McDonald there to utilize him more. But you know who he kind of reminds me of a little bit? Is Le'Veon Bell.
Okay.
And that's not. I also believe they both went to Michigan State.
Yes, that is correct.
I didn't actually mean to like make that comparison of them.
Too late.
Two Michigan State players, but that he does remind me of Le'Veon Bell. But just thought I'd get that out there because I think he deserves a lot of credit and respect because he's awesome. One of my favorite running backs to watch this year.
Yes, he is. All right, so that's going to take us to our 3 strikes. Kamlo, hit the button for strike 1.
Sorry, I'm a little out of practice. You got to give me a second. Can you cue me one more time?
All right, Kamlo, hit the button for strike 1.
All right, Nick, I got it ready.
Edit in post.
Yeah.
I didn't post.
We won't.
Kamlo, the honor goes to you for strike 1.
So, I mean, I figured we were going to be talking about football for our top strike, and if I'm being totally honest, that's really the only thing that I watched sports-related this week, with the weather and the economy and, just the politics, the world being what it is. I don't really have a whole lot of other sports stuff, but, obviously in this industry, we see a lot of sports-related content. And I came across an interesting hypothetical, and I wanted to run it past you guys because I figured we're less than a week away from pitchers and catchers reporting for spring training, and
less than a month.
Is it a month or don't they? Are you sure they don't report sooner than that?
Maybe it's the first week.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, next week is the first week in February. I thought they would have had like the second or third week that they showed up, but
irregardless.
Thank you.
So the question,
semantics.
So the question, and I'll pose it to both of you, and I'll let you guys answer however you want. The question was: Game 7 of the World Series, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, Ricky Henderson on second, Tony Gwynn lines a single into right field. Is there a right fielder that can make that throw to get Henderson out?
Yeah,
Vlad
Senior and Ichiro.
See, Vlad Senior.
There's
and it's not. It's
gosh. There's someone we're missing from the 80s who had like a hose out there. Oh, Bo Jackson could make it.
That's what I said. I said Bo Jackson.
You said Bo. But there's one other person that I didn't really know too well because he made a couple throws. I forget who it is, but Yoenis Cespedes could do it.
You think?
Yep, that's a good one. Yeah,
Isn't he?
Well, remember the throw in the Angel Stadium?
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Wasn't that the year he won the home run derby? Was that the year he won the home run derby? Because Yoenis won, right?
Jeff Francoeur.
I don't know if he could. He had a good arm.
I mean, our first 2 thoughts of Vlad Senior and Ichiro those are the 2.
Which, so I had the same, obviously I had the same thought, and I think anyone that has a minor knowledge of baseball history would have had the same thought as Ichiro and Vlad. I don't know that anyone from this era could.
I'm sure they can.
I couldn't think of anyone in this current era of baseball that could make it.
Judge.
You think Judge could make that?
Judge got a great arm.
My name is Judge.
I mean, all these guys have
Roberto Clemente.
That another good one. That is a good one. A good pull. I forgot about him.
Forgot that. There is another one that I'm thinking of, but no, Clemente definitely. And now, if Ricky Henderson were here, he'd say, "No way, Ricky getting thrown out. Can't throw Ricky out."
Because he'd probably be stealing anyway.
Yep.
He'd probably be stealing third, and then even with 2 outs, and because Tony Gwynn doesn't strike out, why not steal? So boom, I just created,
that was
there in your argument.
Yeah, I just had to look at Dave.
That throw?
No, he doesn't have that great.
You think he needs You think he needs like a misstep from Ricky or a good bounce?
He'd have to fall down. Ricky would have to fall down.
Holy shit!
Juan Soto has
slight
never
hitch.
had a good arm. I mean, might as well have Brett Gardner out there. I mean, those guys don't have good arms. I mean, Vlad, Ichiro, Judge, Clemente.
Sorry. The one I was thinking of was Dave Parker, the Cobra, who passed away last year. Played for the Pirates and the A's. Just newly minted Hall of Famer. Got inducted last year posthumously.
He's also the one that wore the shirt that if you hear any noise, it's just me and the boys bopping.
Yes. So, yes, he should be thrown in there. Dave Parker.
One other fun little thing to look for in the coming season. Guy that I work with, his son is emerging as the top prospect in the Dodgers farm system. His name is Zahir Hope, and he plays center field. Kids lighting it up, and I've seen a couple articles that have popped up talking about him. So I think that could be a fun watch because I've worked with his dad for a couple of years now, and I think that's a pretty cool thing. he got called up to the Tulsa Drillers, and
Sweet.
AAA.
yeah, he was playing for the Great Lakes Loons, I think it is. He was playing for the Great Lakes Loons and got called up to the Tulsa Drillers, and he's got, I think, like 37 stolen bases, 25 home runs, is hitting like 266. But his name's been thrown out, and I've seen a couple of news articles talking about him. So if you hear the name Zahir Hope, keep an eye out, because I think that's a...
Did he go straight from high school?
I believe so. I can pull it up.
Okay.
I can pull up his page real quick. But last I saw, I think when it lists his education, it just says Colonial Forge High School, Stafford, Virginia. He was picked in 23 to the Chicago Cubs, round 11, 326th overall. His 2025 stats: he hit 266 last year, 80 RBIs, 27 stolen bases, 13 home runs, 25 for his career so far. But it's a name to keep in the front of your brain there as we approach baseball season. Zahir Hope.
I like it.
Yeah,
Nice.
It could be fun. Could be fun to see. But yeah, that's all I got. Just a couple of baseball things. I'm kind of getting excited for baseball. You know, the Caps really ain't doing dick all in hockey, and with the Super Bowl coming up, we got some downtime, so I'm kind of catching up on some baseball.
Yeah, I saw a thing. I was like, I can't wait for the time of year when my team gets to piss me off on a random Tuesday night.
Yeah. Welcome to Baltimore.
I'm in that right now. College.
Yeah. Welcome to the Baltimore Orioles. We're happy to have you. All right. You guys ready for strike two?
Hit the button.
Let's do it. Let's do.
All right, let's go with college basketball, because I do watch college basketball. And yes, my team is pissing me off on a random Tuesday night. West Virginia losing to Kansas State while Kansas State wears these lavender ugly jerseys. Anyway, neither here nor there. Turn on FS1.
You are pissed off. Holy shit.
They're disgusting. I want to talk about the teams that are actually good. We have 4 20-win teams this year, and it's not even February. If you can get to 20 wins before
February.
Where does this Rue come
Cracking a cold one.
Cracking a cold one. If you get to 20 wins before February, that is a special season, like, in and of itself. And then we also have a couple teams that are undefeated. Arizona, Nebraska, and Miami of Ohio.
How about that?
Undefeated.
Rank the Red Hawks.
They are ranked.
I know. They finally did.
They are ranked.
Hashtag.
Yes, out there in Oxford, Ohio. But
Who could forget 'em?
Arizona, Nebraska, Gonzaga, and Miami of Ohio have all won 20 games so far this year, and we're not even in February. That's incredible. Arizona is just absurdly good.
Buzzsaw.
To be undefeated,
Model of efficiency.
Buzzsaw.
They're a machine.
they are a machine. Yes. And then Nebraska ball. This is Indiana football and Nebraska football swap somewhere. Then Indiana basketball and Nebraska basketball somehow swapped somewhere. There's some weird timeline thing going on where Indiana football just wins the national championship going undefeated, and Nebraska basketball is undefeated after 20 games. It makes no sense. I love it.
What a time to be
And
alive.
then we also have 2 19-game winners who will most likely
The
get
Billikens.
the St. Louis Billikens and the
Kareem
UConn
Abdul-Jabbar.
Nick, let him cook. Jesus Christ.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Woo!
All right, Kareem.
Why do I even do this?
Live!
Live, damn it. Hey, you do what you like.
Keep calm.
Anyway,
Get fired up!
in the great A10, the Atlantic 10 conference, the St. Louis Billikens are 19-1, which I have always said the A10 conference should be a 2-bid league, and they never get it, which I think is garbage, but they'll have multiple chances again, which I think they should be another 2-bid league this year. So St. Louis Billikens, UConn Huskies right there at 19. Pretty incredible.
Making any predictions? You feeling bold?
One of the national champion will come from Arizona, Duke, UConn, or Michigan.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Did you make it one of your
Those 4
predictions?
teams.
I'm adding it to the
14.
prediction list.
All the number one seeds.
And I'm going to throw in Houston because I love Houston, and they.
That's what we call hedging
I
our
always have
bets.
to throw in
Yes, it
Houston.
is.
Yes.
And he's
But-
going to throw in Iowa State, and he's going to throw in.
No, I don't. I don't trust Iowa State.
Gonzaga.
They're really good.
Put them in there too.
I don't trust Gonzaga.
And you know what? Also for safekeeping, put Florida in there.
Purdue.
Because they're the defending champs. And Purdue.
UConn.
I do like watching that Florida team, even though they've lost some games. I do like watching that team. No, Houston. I have to throw in because I always pick them. But Arizona, Duke, UConn, and Michigan to me are the 4 best teams.
Okay, so those are your 4.
Basketball, those
are your 4 1 seeds. Those are your 4 1 seeds.
And also, if Princeton goes on a run, maybe they can do it. And I don't know if Gordon Hayward has any eligibility left after his contracts because we're signing pro players now. But maybe Butler.
You want to just derail my segment the entire? I'm trying to highlight teams that I enjoy and that I like, but you know what? Go ahead.
No, but I do agree.
Putting in your place.
Those are all fun teams to watch, but man, it just feels like that Arizona team. Nick, you said it, just super efficient. It just doesn't feel like there's anyone that can humble them right now.
It looks easy.
Looking at exactly. They make it look easy. It's just absolute efficiency at its finest.
They did get pushed to the brink at BYU,
but they let them back. They were in control of that game. They let them back.
Yes, but then they had to come up with a defensive stop to win it. And
BYU
has potentially the number 1 pick in the draft. If you ever see the highlights of a game in Provo, oh my gosh, the entertainment value that they do there, the home court advantage they have is insane. So Arizona winning that game against a really good BYU team, I mean that's incredible.
Is BYU on your list to win?
No.
You should throw them in there.
They're not. You know what?
Michigan State.
Nick, you're a dick.
Well,
you're
taking out UVA.
In Nebraska, since you brought them up.
Stevie, don't take the bait. Don't take the bait.
I'll take out UVA because they suck.
Yeah.
They just lost to UNC, and I think did they lose to Notre Dame tonight? I think they may have.
Oof.
Oh, did they lose?
He asked sarcastically.
Yeah.
It's actually a 1-point game with 18 seconds left.
I
hope they lose now.
It wouldn't be a UVA sport if you weren't having heart palpitations whilst watching it.
I hope they lose to Notre Dame, who just hasn't been any good since Mike Bray left. I hope they lose.
Notre Dame lost to the Mastodons, remember? PFW, they lost to the Mastodons. Go Dons! Dons. All right. Kamlo. Hit the button.
Final strike. Let's punch him out.
So, with my strike, I'm actually going to turn to the Australian Open, and I want to highlight a departing, in my opinion, legend in Stan Wawrinka. So, he said this is going to be his last year on tour. This is his final Australian Open. He lost to number 9 seed American Taylor Fritz in the 3rd round. After he lost, he runs over to the cooler next to his seat, pulls out 2 beers, comes onto the court, and said, I'm going to crack these with the tournament director, whatever his name is, if you'll let me. Crack open the beers. He goes, cheers, everybody, and just starts drinking. And he goes, and thank you very much. So Stan the Man is awesome. He won his first of 3 majors at the 2014 Australian Open. And again, I bring up legend because he has 3 majors, all at the height of Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and Murray.
So he's Chauncey
And he
Billups.
won 3. And no one ever brings up how good he is. And to the fact that he's still out there grinding at 40 years old. He's 40. Stan the Man is, right? It is remarkable, right? He said this isn't a farewell tour. Said he's still out there with the intent to win every match that he plays, which I love that. And you could see he kind of ran out of gas. I think he took a set against Fritz, but lost the other ones, and I think one of them in a tiebreak. But the match before it was a 4.5-hour 5-set win over a 21-year-old French qualifier.
Damn.
And that made Wawrinka the first man 40 or older to reach the 3rd round of a Grand Slam since Ken Rosewall at the 1978 Australian Open.
What does that make him? Does that make him Tim Duncan, Chauncey Billups, Dirk Nowitzki? What would you liken that to?
Stan?
Like
I think those are good.
That level of success while there's just other assassins out there stealing the spotlight. Because I think Tim Duncan, Chauncey, Dirk during Kobe, Shaq, that era. You know what I mean? And
and LeBron, they had to deal with that. I think I like the Dirk one, just because the Nowitzki with the W and Wawrinka with the W's
That's a little
being
racist.
pronounced that. What?
Huh? I said it was a little racist.
Jingoist.
Yeah.
The V.
Yeah, let's not just lock him down to one specific pronunciation, or it doesn't have to be an Anglo player. You know what I mean? Anyway, sorry.
A German and a Swiss guy. That's
I know.
Not,
but
that's not Anglo.
Yeah, but you likened it to like the foreign sounding names. I don't really think that's not good optics.
They come from the same part of the world.
Those
Switzerland
people.
Switzerland and Germany are right there.
Yeah, those people.
Oh, might as well be the same country at this point.
Yeah, how many countries we got in this country?
Well, Stan the Man's it was his 49th 5-set match at a major, which also set a record for most 5-set matches at a major, which is
that is pretty cool.
Kind of cool. So yes,
what kind of beer was it?
Wawrinka.
What kind of beer was it?
I gotta think it was an Australian beer because
Foster's?
it looked like a craft beer.
Oh, okay.
It had a kind of a cool coloring on the cans. You got to think last one there. You're not going to bring out a Miller Lite.
No, I mean it's got to be something local. You got to play to the crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A coffee. Beer. C.
B. E. Anything else before we move on to our favorites?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so that's going to take us to our favorites segment, brought to you as always by One Legacy Title and Escrow in Jacksonville, Florida. Follow them on Instagram at One Legacy Florida and visit them at onelegacyflorida.com to see how they can help you with your next house closing. One Legacy Title and Escrow, because your legacy matters. This week we went with our favorite Marvel heroes of all time. And I say Marvel heroes because that's what it was written in the text message. That's what was decided upon. Mm-hmm. Favorite Marvel superheroes of all time. Who would like to start?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
I really like Batman.
In the Flash.
Batman fits in my Batmobile. Nonsense. The Thing fits in there just fine.
All right. Honorable mention. For honorable mention, I am going to go. He's a supporting character, but I'm gonna go with Heimdall.
I like it. He almost made my like.
Yeah, big Heimdall fan. I mean, the earlier movies I don't think are possible without him. Plus, his character is just so full of great like Norse lore.
Crazy enough,
I really enjoyed Idris Elba's portrayal of him. Yeah, go ahead.
So Jeopardy last night had a question, and the answer was Heimdall.
Who is Heimdall?
Who is Heimdall? Sorry,
what
they had an
is
answer in the question?
How is Heimdall? Okay.
Did any of those nerds get it?
Probably.
No one got it.
Paper boots.
Typical. I'm sure they got every question about art history correct, but
probably
couldn't get that.
Not Norse mythology.
It's Manet, not Monet.
All right, so that's going to bring me into my actual top 5. So for number 5, in that same breath, I'm going to go with the Allfather. I'm going to go with Odin. Give me Odin in the 5 slot. Again, a bit of a supporting character, but again, like his role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is really that of kind of like the puppet master for the Asgardians, right? He's like the Nick Fury, in my opinion, of Asgard, right? He sees the big picture and can see the moves on the board as they're playing, right? And you see that really shine through in the Ragnarok movie.
I now take from you your hammer,
your power. Number four, this was a tricky one. I really enjoyed Paul Rudd's portrayal of Ant-Man, so I'm gonna throw Ant-Man in there in the 4 slot. Those movies were a little niche for me, but I do enjoy them. And again, like if you really want to appreciate the gravitas of Infinity Wars and Endgame, you really need to be locked in for the Ant-Man movies. So I'm gonna go Ant-Man in the 4 spot. Number 3, I'm going to go with Dr. Stephen Strange. The Strange series is, I just think, some of the best 2 movies in the entire universe. I really, really enjoyed Doctor Strange's character. And, of course, obviously, Benedict Cumberbatch's portrayal again. But Stephen Strange is incredible. It's also nice to have somebody who has the same name as me and spell it the same and pronounce the same, just to kind of set the record straight and not throwing out any other celebrities, Steph Curry. It's neither here nor there. 2 slot, I'm going to go with Tony Stark, Iron Man. Kind of like with Dennis Reynolds, right? The Superman, he's the original. I mean, for this Marvel for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Iron Man was our original. Iron Man 1, going back to the days where Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with scrap. That was just a fucking awesome movie. And to see RDJ's portrayal moving forward, and now we're gonna get to see it come full circle in Avengers Doomsday is gonna be so much fun. So seeing Tony Stark and how Robert Downey Jr. just killed that role was really, really special and a joy to watch. And spoiler alert, at the end of Endgame, I mean, it just tears you up. So yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, the fuck you doing? And then
that guy in the hairpiece was Bruce Willis the whole time. That's not the twist.
Shyamalan twist for you.
Yeah. I love you 3000. And then number one, I don't think this should really be a surprise to anyone that knows me. In theme with my honorable mention and my 5 pick, I'm going with Thor. I don't care if it's lean, mean, 8-pack Chris Hemsworth or big fat beer gut slamming down a keg with a braided beard wielding Stormbreaker. I don't care. Thor was just an awesome character, and Chris Hemsworth did such a phenomenal job. I think he's probably the best out of all of them, but I really, really enjoyed watching that character evolve over the movies from just cocky, arrogant little prick to really just learning how to handle the responsibility of leadership and all the trials and tribulations and burdens that come with it. I mean, that was a story arc that really hit home with me in those formative years. And it was really fun to watch. So I went Thor in the 1 spot. That's my list. I'll hang up and listen.
I like it. Boy.
So I do have a couple honorable mentions. I have 3 of them, actually. My first one is Radioactive Man, who you may be thinking, oh, that's just The Simpsons. That's not a Marvel hero. That makes no sense. Actually, in the Marvel, official Marvel list, he is on there. So I was like, I have to put him.
Yes,
Radioactive Man.
He is, but it's not the same.
I know it's not the same, but I just had to put it.
But yes, no, I saw that as well, and had to do extra research on that. And Fall Out Boy.
Yes, and Fall Out Boy.
Is where the band comes from.
Yes, it is. That's also hilarious. But my next honorable mentions, Daredevil, not Ben Affleck, but Charlie Cox. Charlie Cox's Daredevil is so good. That TV series is incredible. If that's not a character, I would be like, oh, you know what? I really like Daredevil, until I watched the TV series, and it was like, this is so good. And Moon Knight.
Okay.
Moon Knight, I think, is just an awesome character.
Yeah.
The fact that he's 3 different characters in one, the Khonshu powers that he has, all of that is such a cool dynamic that he has in his powers. And there's not a lot of Egyptian superheroes.
Fair.
Right? Egyptian god superheroes. So I think that's a really cool one.
He's not Egyptian, right? The guy.
Moon Knight, no, but Khonshu.
Yes, the Egyptian god. Yeah.
Yes, so Moon Knight ends up having Egyptian god powers.
I like Black Adam.
DC.
Yeah, and Pierce Brosnan as the guy with the helmet.
Anyway, my next one has not been made into a MCU movie or a movie of any type, actually, but Nova. I think Nova is a great character. If you don't know, in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, they have the Nova Corps. So basically, Nova is their superhero for the Nova Corps, and I know he's in that Spider-Man series with I believe it's Drake, the guy that plays Drake from Drake and Josh. He's the voice of Spider-Man, and he's that series has Nova in it, and I think White Tiger and
cartoon.
Yeah, it's a cartoon, but Nova is such a cool character. Richard Rider, I believe, is Nova's name.
Hardly know her.
It's a really cool character. It's kind of like a lesser version of a Captain Marvel. Is Nova a little bit
like an Adam Warlock type of thing?
Not as powerful. And then my next one, number 4, we're going to the OG of the MCU, like you said, Kamala Iron Man.
Yeah.
You would talk about the growth of that, the technology that they kept implementing. His character somehow got better in every single movie. I think that was the coolest part.
The tech, man. The evolution of the tech was everything, and it bleeds out into different branches. It's so cool.
Yes. Him, creating Spider-Man's tech and all these different things. The Hulkbuster.
Ironically, he's Marvel's version of Batman, right? He has a plan for everything. He has a contingency for everything. It's so fucking...
He's got all the money. He's rich, right?
Stan Lee never left.
Stan Lee never left, yes. But Iron Man in the 4 spot. Number 3, Thor. I've always loved Thor.
Yeah.
That's such a great character. And I think the best part of the MCU is when Thor comes back into Wakanda and the Bring Me Thanos and everything just goes black. Mm-hmm. He's got Stormbreaker and just wrecks. That, I was like, oh, I got chills. This is great.
Yeah.
Hemsworth's portrayal. I do wish a little bit that they had a little bit more like Norse mythology like version of Thor, because it's kind of like what Thor was in Endgame, where he's like fatter.
Yeah.
And he's just a brute.
Mm-hmm.
And just an absolute like.
So you want more like how it's portrayed in if you ever played the God of War games.
I've seen like clips of it, and yes, that's exactly what I want.
Yeah, that's fair.
I wanted more of that.
You want more like a body, like an Eddie Hall bodybuilder physique, like the Mountain in Game of Thrones.
Strongest man.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fair.
Correct.
It's fair.
My number 2, The Punisher.
Ooh, good one.
I know you like
him. Is so good. I believe it's also the only Italian superhero or Italian American superhero or something like that.
Yeah.
Castle.
Yeah. Well, most things, if you're going to have a bad guy, you normally make him Italian. That's kind of, I mean, heck, it even bleeds into Pokemon. The leader of Team Rocket's Giovanni. Where's that name come out of nowhere? But it's easier to just make him Italian. John Wick 2?
Yes,
douchebag Italian guy, right?
Anyway, the Punisher,
so it's just easy.
Is one of my favorites. I think because he's like, I guess, controversial or something as like a hero or whatever, but John Bernthal's like portrayal of the Punisher is so good in the Daredevil series and in the Punisher series. And like there's always that like clip of like Daredevil and like him having like, you know, the moral argument of like, do you kill like these bad guys or whatever? And you know, Daredevil doesn't do that, but Punisher's like, no, I need it to be permanent. I'm like, oh, I like the Punisher.
Let's go.
And then my number 1 is Captain America.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm a huge Captain America fan. And it just, he's the symbol of this country, of the never give up, never give in attitude, will before skill type of thing. I love Captain America. When he lifts Mjolnir too, that's always one of the best spots. And then Chris Evans was so good as Captain America. So
yeah.
Cap is always my number 1. There was no doubt.
Going back and rewatching the first Captain America when like they have him like CGI'd on that scrawny little like needle dick body, it's just so outrageous looking now. Like because we've known him as this big like hulked up like stud muffin for so long, and then you go back and you rewatch the original movie and you're like, God, oh, disgusting. Give him the radiation.
Yeah, what did Peggy see in him?
Yeah, ugh. Who knows? Good list, boy.
All right, so before I get into my list, I do want to bring one character up, and this is for our Guatemalan contingent. It is Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
Which is a real superhero. They made a ridiculous movie in like the 80s or early 90s. Yeah. It's a real thing.
Yes.
And they threw him in there with the end of the second Guardians or first Guardians, something like that. When he's
the first, I think it's the end of the
sitting there drinking, voiced by Seth Green, which is hilarious. Mm-hmm. So I wish
great in Robot Chicken.
Yeah, I heard that too. And Without a Paddle, and
people are going to see the new Austin Powers movie because of Seth Green. Oh, that's hilarious that you say that, Nick, because that is how he is still saved as a contact in my phone, is Howard the Duck.
Yes. Of course, referring to...
Way to be a captain! Way to be a captain, Mike!
Yep. Of course, again, our Guatemalan contingent made up of civil servant Mike Howard.
Yes.
Down there. Howard the Duck, and that's how we learned about Howard the Duck, is from that. Now, I have 2 honorable mentions. First one is Iron Man, like you guys said, for all those reasons. I mean, without the way Robert Downey Jr. portrayed him, he may not be on my list. Just because, the whole, rich guy doing all this stuff is cool, but whatever. But the way he did it, the whole, like you said, the whole thing that went into it, the way they brought it all full circle and all these things, and the job he did, you can't not have him somewhere.
I think Stan Lee said, like,
rest in peace.
If I had to handpick someone, you couldn't have done it better to play Tony Stark than what Robert Downey Jr. did. Like, that's like, and it's like the ultimate praise.
Yes.
Stan Lee never left.
My other honorable mention is Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze.
Oh, come on.
It's awesome.
He's right there.
Fuck off.
Do you have him on your shirt?
Yeah.
Yes. It's so ridiculous that it's hilarious. It's awesome. And it's Nick Cage.
I'm going to go steal a Harley Davidson.
Exactly. It's got the 2 true hallmarks of a Nick Cage movie. First, it exists. And second, everything is on fire.
How am I not in this movie?
It's the perfect. Now, They need to somehow weave that back into some cameo going forward, like the same way they brought Wesley Snipes to play the alternate universe Blade and
Deadpool.
Jennifer Garner, and the Deadpool Wolverine Jennifer Garner as Elektra.
Yeah, Channing Tatum as Gambit.
But he didn't actually play Gambit, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
I've been waiting for this my whole life.
I thought
the name for myself.
I thought he didn't. But yes, like that, they got to find a way to bring Nick Cage back as Ghost Rider in some capacity.
I think the original Gambit was that kid who played Riggs in Friday Night Lights with Kyle Chandler. He's also in Pacific Rim, I think. What is his name? Taylor Hirsch?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's who played the original Gambit, if I'm not mistaken.
Kirch?
Something like that. Yeah, whatever. You guys all know who I'm talking about.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so that's why I had a hard time finding Channing Tatum as Gambit somewhere else was.
Well, it's an MCU. It's an alternate universe.
But again, they need to bring Nick Cage back in some way for that. It has to be done. If you're going to do all these other things, you have to throw that in there. It's too awesome. Ghost Rider's sweet. Number 5, Beta Ray Bill. You may not know who Beta Ray Bill is, but Beta Ray Bill is like the other Thor. So Beta Ray Bill is a Corbinite from that's his planet he's from, and they get essentially wiped out. But they always have one person who is designated as like their savior, right? And they have him go through all these like enhancements and stuff. And when it happens to Beta Ray Bill, it basically makes him like part animal kind of thing, or like it changes his face and all this stuff. But it gives them these super ass powers, right? Well, their planet gets destroyed. A sentient spacecraft that they have called the Scuttlebutt picks him up and essentially keeps him in like, suspended animation until he's called upon to do something. Well, the ship passes close by to like Asgard, and Thor goes out, attacks the ship, wakes him up, and Bill, not knowing any of this, picks up the hammer and just starts wielding it. And they go, how is this possible that this guy can do this? But it's because he's worthy, right? And so what happens is they go back to Asgard, and it's like, well, we can't have two people with the hammer. So Odin decrees that the two of them will fight to the death to see who's the one true wielder of Mjolnir. And so they both render each other unconscious. But Bill, because of the enhancements he's gone through with all this stuff, comes to before Thor does, declaring him the winner. And instead of killing Thor, he decides that Thor was too worthy of an opponent to kill. And this prompts Odin to say, well, that means you're worthy of your own weapon. And he commissions, the dwarves, to make Stormbreaker. So Beta Ray Bill is actually the wielder of Stormbreaker. But Beta Ray Bill, awesome. Yeah, so when you were talking about Thor wielding Stormbreaker, that's actually Beta Ray Bill's. So it makes you wonder if bring him in
the MCU besides just that like
little clip
Easter egg.
Yes.
Yeah, the Easter egg in
Ragnarok.
What's it called? In Ragnarok. Yeah.
I'm sure there's some like B-reel footage that ended up on like the editing room floor.
Well, I think it's just hard with the way his he looks like a horse kind of. I think it's probably hard to do that and not make it look like you can't make it look dumb. Yeah, exactly.
There's a talking raccoon and a talking tree. What are you talking about?
I know that yes, but I'm sure that would be part of it. Is how do we do this without doing an injustice to the character of Beta Ray Bill? But Beta Ray Bill, cool. And if you didn't know that, you learned something new today.
There you go.
Number 4 is Captain America, like you said, well over skill or the indomitable human will, and especially the American
what would break first.
The American spirit, right? Like what matters on the inside matters more than what's on the outside. Doing the right thing versus the easy thing, like all these like mantras that's kind of what he encapsulates. And like you said, when he picks up Mjolnir, man, I think I was like
they built to that for so long too, and you're just
since Ultron.
Yes. It was so good. Yes,
it was awesome. Yeah. Number 3 is Daredevil. I'm with you, boy. I love Daredevil. It is the only thing that I will give Ben Affleck any credit for. I would even go back and watch that movie. As bad as not good as it is, just because I think the character of Daredevil is freaking sweet.
Yeah.
The whole thing about it is awesome. The fact too that he's the lawyer to all these people makes it even better. But yes, Daredevil, awesome. The TV show, awesome.
Daredevil is a good one.
Cannot wait for him to make his be in one of these movies. He hasn't made a cameo yet, has he?
Yes, he did. He was in Spider-Man.
You're right. He was his lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with Doctors. That was a great movie.
The shitty thing about Daredevil is that they made the seasons separate series. And so like Tess and I made this mistake was we were like, you know what? It's time to like catch up on some Marvel stuff. Let's watch Daredevil. And we started with the wrong one because they don't
You texted me and I was like, how'd you get there so fast? You gotta go back to like 2015.
Which one you start with? So like if you don't do your homework, you could very well end up with the wrong Daredevil on your screen, like an unfortunate married couple living in Caroline County.
Not the wrong one. Does those Netflix series, do they connect directly
to
the Disney one?
Disney.
Because I've only watched season 1 of the Netflix one. Can I just watch the Disney one and not have to watch the other Netflix ones?
No, there's a lot.
I have to watch.
Yeah, there's a lot of history if you jump in. So we knew in the first 10 minutes we were like, we're missing something. Like I went back and was like making sure we're on episode 1, and I was like, man, I don't fucking get it. This is season 1, episode 1, but it's season 1 of this series. You have to watch the other series
because Netflix had the first
fucking
2,
figure it out.
And then Disney Plus did the other one.
You know what really grinds my gears?
So I have to go finish the Netflix ones?
Yes.
Plus season 2 of the Netflix one is the best. That's the best.
Whoa! Spoilers! I like to go in fresh.
Season 2 of the Daredevil Netflix is the best one.
I mean, I didn't want to because I watched the first one 10 years ago, and now it's
season 2.
Yeah, and Insomniac, you will catch up in no time.
You'll be happy.
Yeah, what time do I have?
You got all the time in the world, baby. You're a young guy.
All right, I just won't sleep. That's fine.
We'll
do it live.
Sleep.
Figure it out. We'll do it live. Number 2, and I'm surprised this wasn't on anyone's, is Spider-Man or Spider-Man or Man Spider.
Yeah. Which you need to clarify though. With the emergence.
The Peter Parker.
Not just the Peter Parker. I mean, we had a movie where we had 3 Peter Parkers.
I'm just a Spider-Man.
You like Tobey Maguire. You like Andrew Garfield. You like Tom Holland. You like Miles Morales. What are we talking about here?
Why do I have to pick? I can just say Spider-Man.
Very different Spider-Man.
You know, there were several Ghost Riders. There were also several Ant-Men.
Very different. Yes, I specified Paul Rudd though.
Please, fine. I'll go with the Tom Holland.
That's one. The best one.
He's done a good job. But it doesn't have to be from the movies because as I talked about, Beta Ray Bill isn't even in the movies, and Nova is not in the movies. So just Spider-Man, who you said. Iron Man is he's the original. Spider-Man to me is like the comic original, like from the comics. Namor.
Fantastic Four. I think Human Torch and Spider-Man are like the 2 original comic book characters.
And
Torch is funny.
Namor goes back. He might be like number 3. I think he's from like the 40s. He, I think, existed before like Marvel acquired the little outlet that created him. I think
that's pretty cool.
But
great business.
But Spider-Man to me, when you think of superheroes, he's almost like the first one you think of. The TV show Spidey and His Amazing Friends theme song by the Fall Out Boy lead singer, awesome.
You can go back before that too. Awesome. I do remember watching the old cartoons early in the morning.
Yeah, there's just so many. So many cartoons they've done.
I told you the Drake. Like where I found out where Nova was, I watched those Spider-Man TV shows. It was like right around the time like the Avengers movie came out. They had the like Spider-Man TV show, like animated TV show, but it was like the guy from Drake and Josh voiced it, and I was like, oh, like this is actually really good.
Yeah, okay, that's a good picnic.
Spider-Man is also very relatable. I feel like a lot of people try to see themselves in Spider-Man, especially because of his age, right? For the most part, all these other people are like grown-ass adults, right? Spider-Man is supposed to be like a high school kid.
He's a kid.
Right? And I think that resonates a lot with people, right? You first get introduced to these things when you're kids.
It's a good coming-of-age tale.
Yes. Resonates so much because of, all of his faults and stuff and his feelings and all of the things he wrestles with are so real and human.
to what's happening right now in these halls and in front of these lockers. High
Yes,
school is such a serious thing.
These problems matter.
Yeah. So Spider-Man is number 2, and number 1 is the Hulk. Love the Hulk.
You are the Hulk embodied, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As he grew old, he learned how to control it. But the secret is he's always angry.
Yes. Reagan smash. Hulk smash. That's awesome. The blind rage and destruction, but yet you're still doing the right thing at the end of the day. Hulk smash.
Stevie and I hung out with the Hulk a lot growing up. Holy shit.
Uh-huh.
Stevie got bruised by the Hulk.
I identify
drywall.
I identify as the Hulk.
I mean, that makes sense. You're wicked smart, but you got a mean, angry streak there, buddy.
Allegedly.
But you're
saying you don't like me when I'm angry.
But you fucking wicked piss of smart.
Allegedly.
That's a good list, Nick. I enjoyed the Beta Ray Bill section. That was a good poll.
Yeah. He is cool. I do wish I want them to throw him in there at some point.
That would be cool. That'd be a nice. I mean, it's totally possible with the multiverse now.
I mean,
well, he didn't have to be a multiverse.
No, I know, but I'm saying it would be easier because like the storylines can jump around and.
You're right. You wouldn't have to do as much intro because you could just show up
exactly
with a Mjolnir or a Stormbreaker.
I mean, we got John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, and then we had
give it away. Don't sell the farm. I mean, Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, right?
What? Is that the twist? That's Hugh Jackman the whole time.
Yeah, that's the twist. That's the twist. All right. Anything else before we move on to our final segment? So it's going to take us to our What to Look For segment, brought to you as always by VB Cookie Co. Looking for the perfect way to stand out at the next event you are hosting? Well, custom cookies are a timeless way to have everyone still buzzing even after they leave. Look no further for your cookie needs than VB Cookie Co. Follow them on Instagram at VB Cookie Co. and message them to order yours today. Whether it is a bridal shower, birthday, engagement, or baby shower, their team will work with you to make all your cookie dreams come true. VB Cookie Co. for the sweetest moments. Boy, give the people something to look for.
I swear to God, if you take mine.
College basketball realm. Hopefully we can get to the Davidson at U of R game. That would be the University of Richmond. Hopefully we will be there in person. Hopefully this winter storm stays.
Did our press passes get approved?
I haven't heard yet. I'll check.
For U of R?
Yeah, I'm gonna look. I do have a connection. I'm gonna look. Try to get us in there.
Press passes, yeah.
Press passes.
Nice.
But yeah, U of R plays Davidson. Also, Miami of Ohio plays Northern Illinois, looking to stay undefeated. So
nice.
That's what I will be looking for.
Good pull. Now give me the rock.
Take it. Take the rock.
I'll bring it right back.
I got it. All right. My what to look for in the coming week. The PGA season is upon us, gentlemen. The Farmers Insurance is right around the corner and returning to the fold. Brooks Koepka. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This plot line writes itself. I couldn't be more thrilled. Brooks Koepka's back on the PGA Tour. The season starts this weekend. Farmers Insurance. I am so locked in because once this stuff gets rolling, oh my God, it'll be Masters weekend before we know it. We're going to sneeze and the Masters is going to be here.
Well, the Waste Management means it's next weekend, right? It's always the Super Bowl week, and Brooks is going to play it.
I cannot wait. Yeah, Brooks.
You guys know I've been an advocate for Live Golf and think the product they do is very good. But one of the biggest reasons is because
you're a big Koepka fan.
Yes. And so with him coming back, it's almost like I really want to watch Live as much as I did before. Because I used to watch almost all the Live ones because I thought they were fun and got to see all these guys that
and you were an
weren't able to see.
Who was up when they were playing in Australia.
Well, that was because of my screaming newborn son.
Facts.
But yes, I was. And I got our tweet on TV.
Several of them.
2:12 in the morning. Yeah, I think 3. I think 3 last year. Just fucking sweet.
Mr. Worldwide.
But I'm with you with that Koepka one.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Because I am excited to see how where his game's at, right? Obviously, there was a big spotlight that was shining on him when he announced his departure from Live, and he cited personal reasons. And then leading up to the return to the PGA announcement, obviously his wife was pretty public about she just wants him home more, and that the Live schedule wasn't like conducive to that. So it is excited to have. I'm excited to have Brooks back in the PGA Tour, and I'm excited. It doesn't mean I'm any less excited for the live events because I do enjoy them. I don't go out of my way to watch them or anything, but obviously, like, I do look at the schedule to see if there's any events that we can get to, because we went to that one up in Sterling, Virginia, and that was so much fun. I still talk about it and still look at pictures from it.
I think they're playing at Gainesville, whatever, where the Solheim Cup was. Yeah, they're playing there again.
Yeah, that's right. You're absolutely right. I do remember that. Yeah, they're going to be there.
Robert Trent Jones.
That's it, RTJ. But yeah, I'm excited for Brooks to be back in the PGA, and I'm excited to get the golf back. I've tried so hard to get into TGL this year. I've sat down and have forced myself to watch it, but like, if I'm being totally honest, while like it's fun to see them like navigate these like create a course holes that are on TGL, it's just kind of boring. And like, there's obviously a couple different shticks with it, and like, it is cool to see him hit simulators and watch him have like the team aspect and the shot clock. But like, Tess and I were talking, I was like, do you think you would ever want to go to one of these events if the opportunity presented itself?
I would. I think it'd be cool.
And I don't know. I feel like that would have more of like a social aspect than like a sit here and watch them play type thing.
Yeah. No, I think it would be a gay old time there. Like, it would be.
Come on, find a different way to put it. You didn't have to say gay old time.
That's an accurate.
I know it is. But like, of all the ways you could have said, that would have been a hoot. Like, you went with that.
It's in my school's song too.
Peculiar individual. But yeah, TLDR, I'm excited Brooks is going to be back. I'm excited for the farmers insurance.
Read a book.
It's going to be fun. That's what I'm looking forward to.
The TGL, wouldn't you rather see like the YouTube golf guys do it?
100%.
Right?
100%.
These guys they're so good, but you're programmed when you get to like the professional level of the sports. You're kind of programmed to not have much of a personality because what you say is going blasted everywhere. Like, you can't do anything. Like,
the interviews are
so robotic.
Dry. The interviews are dry. It's very one dimensional. Like, I was hoping that this year they would mix it up by incorporating the LPGA into it and have like
that would be fun
mixed team. But including like a page from Liv's book and including some of the YouTube golf guys in their events would have been cool. But yeah, I think there's a million different ways to make it more exciting than what it is, right? It's so hard to sit there and watch.
Yeah, and also, so one of the issues too about it is
the hammer.
No, I like the issue is like I'm not really watching it because I'm watching college basketball. Like, I go with those seasons. So unless I am just all about golf, that's it. That's all I'm watching. When you're the, like, I guess, average sports fan, you're going from college football to NFL to college basketball to hockey to baseball, whatever, and then golf in the summer. Like, I'm not paying attention to it.
Yeah, it's hard to sit down and pay attention to Simulator Golf League when we're in the height of football playoffs. Hockey and basketball are coming up on their all-star break, so games are going to start being very, very important. And shit, even like with pitchers reporting and MLB trades and stuff and acquisitions picking up, like, that's more exciting. And obviously the farmers insurance is more exciting than whatever like Simulator Golf is going on. You know what I mean? Like, so it's.
But that's why they do it on a Monday, though, is because it's trying to fill that void that Monday Night Football.
Correct.
Yeah.
But then you get Big Monday with basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, getting upset by our team on a random Monday, Tuesday night. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But yeah, anyways, that's I'm excited for the farmers insurance. I'm excited for Koepka to come back, and I'm excited for the PGA season to get started. Go ahead, Nick.
So I have several here just because
of course you do.
This is really our first weekend without football.
Yeah.
In months. I know football, so let's give the people something else to look for. Australian Open semis and finals will be this weekend. So that should be good to look for. Some basketball here. The Michigan State rivalry on both men's and women's side.
Huge.
Will happen. Number 3 Michigan goes to number 7 Michigan State in men's basketball Friday night. And the number 9 Michigan goes to number 13 Michigan State women's basketball Sunday at noon. That's good. Pretty freaking, like, that's as good as you could get.
Hockey too? Goodness.
No. Crazy. But also on my list, number 2 Michigan State men's hockey goes into take on the Fighting Gavin McKenna's in number 5 Penn State this weekend in 2 games. And then I have on Sunday, number 15 Tennessee women face number 1 UConn. Like that's like the quintessential women's college basketball. Like that's the original is Tennessee and UConn, right? So they always play each other every year. So that's always cool that you get to do that. And this last one is just for you, boy. Saturday night, the last game of the night, St. Mary's at Gonzaga.
Yes.
Always awesome.
That's
always a great game. Always. And I'm glad it is the last game. Tips off 10:30 p.m. Nothing else tips off after that. There's a couple 10 o'clock games, but that gets its own spotlight. One of the most underrated college basketball rivalries that is out there. And I'm glad it gets its own thing. And part of the reason it's underrated is because of how late it is, right? And there's not many people besides crazy people staying up till 12:31 in the morning to watch that game. But it gets its own, essentially, time slot. There's nothing else going to be going on. Maybe some random hockey games or something, Australian Open. I don't know. But that is always a must-watch basketball. Anything else before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I need to cut in with some breaking news. Breaking news.
And I slip in.
Adam Schefter is reporting Bill Belichick is not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There were more than 10 people who apparently voted to exclude him from the Hall of Fame, and the football world is going ape shit. Oh,
that's
that's exactly what I thought. That is
such
a baseball thing.
These fucking people. That is criminal.
Because here's how they can hide behind it: the same way that they refuse to vote in some of these guys in the Baseball Hall of Fame that aren't, right? Like a Kurt Schilling. They'll say
scandal.
Well, he cheated, these things. I mean, the same reason Carlos Beltran had to wait as long as he did. I mean, he only waited 4 years, but he should have been a second-year guy, if not first year, based off of Beltran's everything he had. There's some scandal attached to him, but the thing is, in football, one of the reasons you see the uproar is he's the best NFL head coach ever.
This should be like Mariano Rivera. 100% unanimous.
Mm-hmm.
The second reason, though, that this is such an uproar is that baseball has that character clause that they hide behind. That's what they all hid behind, why they won't vote for a steroid user or for Kurt Schilling and say, well, his character after he played was this, so we don't want him representing our sport. And that's in there, and you can interpret how you want, but that's how they chose to interpret it. Football has no such thing, which is why O.J. Simpson's all over everything there and his no threat that they would take anything down or say anything.
But it's also
right?
the reason why
and they've made a point to say that we don't have that. That it is all based off of what you do on the field.
It took T.O. forever to get in, and it was like, that's bullshit. Like he should have been a first ballot. And then to have Belichick not be a first ballot is just so criminal. And I think Bill Polian was one of the ones that spearheaded it. And if you don't remember Bill Polian, he was the Colts
GM.
GM or owner? Whatever.
During Deflategate?
GM.
During all of that where Belichick was kicking his ass.
Yes.
Belichick, that to me, that's such a personal vendetta against him that, I mean, the fact that he convinced, I guess, 11 people or 10 other people to not vote for him
disgusting.
is ridiculous. How
Absolutely
you don't get
disgusting.
at least 80%?
Wait, Bill Polian spearheaded
the
campaign. Not vote for Belichick, or was campaigning for Belichick?
No, to not vote for
against Belichick.
Against Belichick. Bill Polian was like the biggest one to be
against.
What was his reasoning?
Loser.
His reason was Spygate and Deflategate, and he said he needs to wait a year for his penance. That's literally because he kicked your ass up and down the
But that
ass
idea too of he has to wait a year. That's the most idiotic.
This was a fine and a 4-game suspension for the greatest quarterback the league has ever seen. Fuck all the way off.
But that whole idea, like, I don't even care about saying the penance was those things. Yes, the idea. Yes, it's so baseball. Like they just did to Carlos Beltran, right? And it's
disgusting.
It's all about other things too, because it's like, well, David Ortiz cheated and he was first ballot, and he should have been a borderline first ballot even with not cheating. But you didn't do it. But you know what? The media liked him. You liked him, and you had a good relationship with him. So you'll vote for him to go in, but you won't vote for Gary Sheffield because you thought Gary Sheffield was a dick. And Gary Sheffield said one time that he used some cream while lifting weights with Barry Bonds, and he found out afterwards that it was a steroid cream. And that's why you'll say, we won't vote for Gary Sheffield. But yet Big Papi failed a drug test, was in the Mitchell report, and it's known that he cheated. and got caught. You say, oh, but we won't look at the Mitchell report. But yet we won't vote for Clemens and Bonds, and who didn't fail a drug test. Their only thing was they were mentioned in the report, right? And they had all these scandals. So it's this hypocrisy. Thy name is you. It's the hiding behind the screen. It's the hiding behind the anonymity. It's the like I said, personal vendetta. It's the human element, and that's what that's what makes it great. Is that it's the human element, but it's also like
it's also
we put such a premium on
the
legacy and history of these sports, right? And we talk about so much, and we talk about the statistics and all of these things. And you're going to exclude from your halls of fame people who set standards and were untouched just because you didn't like them. And part of the reason you didn't like them, aside from maybe some personal characteristics, was also that they were better than everyone else.
Kick the shit out of everyone they came across.
And so for Belichick, for them to say, well, he needs to serve a penance.
Who are you to decide?
Well, no. My thing is, that you can't have one or the other. You can't say he's going to serve a penance and then so he gets in year 2 and that's him suffering. No, he's still in the Hall of Fame then, though. So why not vote for him the first time? Mm-hmm. Right? Real penance would be that we are keeping him out of the Hall of Fame forever, like Pete Rose was, right? But yeah, that's just a very punitive. It's small, is what it is. It's a small person argument,
petty and small. It's disgusting, and it genuinely makes me my heart breaks for Bill because he deserves it.
But he's gonna get in though. I don't feel bad for him because
I feel bad for him.
It's like how all these other great baseball players did. Like you said, Mo Rivera is the only unanimous one. Like my heart doesn't break because Ichiro and Griffey and Jeter and
they should have
Mays and Aaron. Yes, they all should have been unanimous Hall of Famers, and Ripken. But they weren't. But they still got in, right? So at the end of the day, again, my heart doesn't break for Carlos Beltran.
The thing is
it's just stupid.
You should have the NFL world reacts and agrees that Bill Belichick should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, and in our minds, he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer, but I don't know because there's no guarantee that he gets in. Obviously, because who's to say these same people aren't just riding the high of being behind the keyboard and being looking at their friends. Yeah, you know who voted no for him? Fucking this guy.
Or that they won't say, oh, we'll do this till he dies, and after he dies,
exactly.
We'll elect him so he doesn't get the satisfaction.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yes, and that's where it takes integrity out of it.
Absolutely,
because that's the worst part is that they'll hide behind. Well, he's the one that lacks integrity because he had this, and this. Yeah. But in reality, you're the one who lacks integrity because you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so punitive. It's so just small. You're a small person to do that because your reasoning to justify it is only in your brain, and you just wanted to have a couple other people with you, and you think that because these other people I know say it, then it has to be true, and that I'm right in my reasoning. And I get that the idea of wanting to be have your own mind and thought, but it's also voting for these things is a privilege, right? It's not like any of us schmucks have it. You have to earn it through years of integrity, of covering and being part of the sport. And you throw your integrity out of the window by making decisions like this and then hiding behind that same lack of integrity that you are imposing on someone else.
Yeah.
It's just, I hate the Patriots.
But
I hate Tom and I hate the Belichick.
You're also able to be objective.
No, because the Hall of Fame is supposed to tell the story and the history
yes.
of the sport, and it's supposed to highlight the greatest of the greats that have ever participated in your sport. Like, that's the whole reason behind it, right? It's a museum. And Belichick is already all over that museum. It has to be. And to sit there and say, oh, we're going to make him serve a penance is just idiotic.
Asinine.
So you're going to diminish your museum, like you said, over a personal vendetta or something, that he rubbed you the wrong way. You're not being a servant of the game. You're not being a custodian of the sport. You're not taking your job seriously, because at that point, you're making a selfish decision to get some personal gratification, as opposed to looking at what your job is supposed to be as a voter, which
of your own massive egos.
Your job as a voter is supposed to be looking at the merits of all of these candidates and say, who belongs in our museum for eternity? Who deserves to be immortalized based off their contributions to our sport? And when you hide behind those things, you lose merit. You lose merit in your voting, right? Like you said, expose these people, but they won't. They'll never come out with it. The same reason they'll never release who didn't vote for Ichiro and who didn't vote for Griffey and who didn't vote for Willie Mays, who didn't vote for Hank Aaron. The same way they'll never release it. It's it's where, and like I said, boy brought up too. It's where baseball has had issues forever. Is like this shrouded mystery of how this gets done, and that almost a complete lack of transparency, a complete lack of thought process. Like there have been times that there are baseball voters who won't vote for a single person on the ballot. That's happened before. Or they just don't even fill out the ballot, and it's like, what? You can't tell me that there's not a single person here. Exactly, you can't tell me that Carlos Beltran is not worth voting for.
By the way, Andrew Jones made it now, right?
Yes.
Finally, thankfully. But that you end up pushing these guys so far, like, down the line. Andrew Jones should have been in 3-4 years ago.
People forget.
And then
Sheffield should be in. There's no reason why you sit there and punch it. Kurt Schilling should be in. It's just the dumbest thing.
But then you have guys who get elected by these veterans committees essentially because we're friends with the former players on the committee. Like former Orioles great Harold Baines. You look at his numbers, and yes, he has some cumulative stats. But for a full-time DH, the numbers he had, and when you look how long he played, like if you're going to put him in, that's like putting Jamie Moyer in, but yet this committee voted him, and we talked about him earlier, the Cobra, right? Dave Parker, right? Fan favorite. People loved him, right? Great player, but there was a reason that he didn't get voted in before. He got voted in by a veterans committee, and I hate speaking ill of the dead because he passed away last year. But I mean, 40 career WAR from a right fielder, less than 400 home runs, yet 290 average, 2,700 hits is impressive. But you know who else almost has that is Johnny Damon. I think Johnny Damon might have more hits, and Johnny Damon has rings. Well, does Dave Parker have rings? He played on the A's, Pirates, Reds. He might have a ring or two. Was he on the Blue? No, the Blue Jays didn't win when he was on them. But thank you. But the point is that it's the whole process for baseball, and baseball fans know it, and baseball people know it, has become so convoluted and just almost arbitrary. And that was something that the other sports still had, was their integrity. Like they didn't have those issues, right?
It's capricious and arbitrary.
And your fly is open. But now with this, whatever news you wanted to break here, that brings it into question. Mm-hmm. That you've now gone the baseball route, football. You have now introduced this, gray area that all these voters get to live in and make just righteous, random, off the wall, like you said, capricious and arbitrary justifications for their votes. Whereas before you didn't have that. And now you've got it, and you give an inch, you take a mile.
Yep.
Right.
Anyway, sorry to bring that up in the last breath there, but yeah, I figured it was worth bringing up.
Yeah, that's fine. Anything else again before we try to wrap this up for the people?
Nah, wrap it up.
All right. That's going to do it for us here at What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. As always, for the boy Stephen Vesci and the man Stephen Comlo, I am the coach Nick Vesci. Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads at WCME Sports, WCME_sports. And our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio, and all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. Don't forget, be decent to each other, have a good one, and we will see you next time. Take care, Guatemala.